People often cope with death by pretending that the deceased are just away on an extended vacation. In my current situation, the thinking is reversed. When an ex-girlfriend told me that she was moving to Europe for the foreseeable future, I knew that she was dead. It had been 2 months since we broke up for the second time. Normally, I try to avoid unnecessary contact with people who break up with me. She also knew that. I knew she knew, so when she asked to meet me at a local Waffle House, a meetup could not be avoided. A part of me hoped that she had an unsatisfying fling with some jerk she met through online dating, and was now ready to restart our on-again, off-again romance. I hadn't brought any new clothes since we broke up, so I had nothing to show off. If I could, I would have brought a new girlfriend along. I settled on a casual band t-shirt and jeans combo. The band was one she hated. This was my own little sign of defiance. I'll admit I'm a dog, a natural-born people-pleaser. Not just for her, for anyone who is a decent enough person to deserve it. I'll happily drive anyone to the airport, help them move apartments, or even loan out hundreds of dollars, no questions asked, without expecting any kind of reciprocation. It has never caused me any problems, so I never minded too much. It's just the way I am. She was a nice girl too, so our relationship never had any loud arguments. If we did disagree on something, we would both recede into our heads and not say anything. Before the day was over, one of us would concede and address the other. Looking back, the split was about 50-50. I'm sure that was the key to our success together. I showed up 5 minutes earlier than the proposed time. We scheduled to meet up at noon. The restaurant was nearly empty. I'm sure other restaurants were experiencing a lunch rush, but nobody went to Waffle House for a nice meal. People only arrived en masse after church and after a hangover. The few employees staffed behind the counter continued their conversations even as the door's chime heralded my entrance. She sat at a 2-seat near the bathrooms at the back of the restaurant. Judging by her conservative but still distinct makeup, she was headed out to work right after this. All of her attention was devoted to fiddling with the plastic menu in front of her. My face involuntarily matched her sour expression. "Ordering something?" I asked, taking my seat across from her. "No, these were already here." "I don't mind paying." I began looking at the prices. I was so distracted by the overpriced steak and eggs that I didn't even register what she told me at first. She said it again. "I'm moving." All I could muster in response was a limp, "Okay." As much as I would have liked to put my foot down and say I wouldn't lug around her furniture, I knew I would if she insisted. The only way to prevent that was to keep my responses as brief as possible. "You're not gonna ask where?" "Okay, where?" Her face brightened. "Europe. Not England or France, but somewhere different, like the Netherlands or Amsterdam." "Germany?" Her face scrunched and fought. "No, not Germany. That feels too dangerous." "How so? You know they got rid of that Hitler guy." "Right, but who wants to vacation in Germany?" she asked. "I thought you were moving." "You're missing the point." She gestured towards the room. "The point is to not be here, or any place like here. Germany is just like England or New York, except they speak German, and I don't want to learn German." "You don't speak Dutch either," I noted. She frowned, and we sat in silence for a while. One of the cooks, who looked about our age, was watching us. I avoided her gaze. "I don't suppose you're asking me to come with you?" "No, I'm not. You wouldn't want to anyway." "That's presuming a lot, isn't it? I have the money for a plane ticket, and I can work from anywhere." "I know you could go. You just won't." "Because you don't want me to?" She flipped the menu over. "You're handy to have around." Our eyes met. She continued. "I want you there." "So I'll come, at least to help you settle in." Something caught her eye outside the window. A car had pulled into the parking lot. A mother helped her child out of the back seat. Nothing out of the ordinary. "So, what have you been up to?" she asked. I didn't want to tell her that I'd spent my morning watching the anime 86. Not that she had anything against anime. She definitely liked it more than I did, but that's not saying much. but in the face of her announcement, it seemed trite. What was there to even say about it? People hailed it as a revolutionary series, and though my opinions were less hyperbolic, I still considered the show respectable. There just wasn't anything particularly interesting about it. Nothing much, I answered. It wasn't a lie. Same as always? Same as always. I don't know if she ever moved to Amsterdam or the Netherlands or even Germany. As far as I know, she could still be at that Waffle House waiting for me. But I should really finish watching 86 first.